Hello everyone, Ilona Barnhart here. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. And I just wanted to take a moment and share with you my New Year's theme, mantra, goal, however you would like to see it. This concept has been popping up and I've been kind of toying with it here and there, but it wasn't until I heard how it's phrased, that it hit home, that it really struck a chord with me. And it's coined by Joseph Campbell, and it's follow your bliss. When I heard follow your bliss, I automatically knew that this was going to be my battle cry for the year, maybe for many more to come, and maybe even a lifetime. And what it basically means, what it comes down to for me, is doing what I want when I want to. It's actually a lot more uncomfortable than it seems. It's not as easy as it might seem, right? Doing whatever you want when you want to. Because as we get to be grown-ups, and there's just so many things that come up, or responsibilities, to-do lists of shoulds and needs on there and things like that, or like must-dos and things like that. So to actually veer off of that, of the way that we've been socialized, especially when it comes to, for me, things like cleanliness and tidiness, has been interesting process, but it's been really fun because it has really opened up my day to different things. So the way that so I'm not gonna lie, like literally there are like dishes in my sink, the floor hasn't been swept in a day or two, and sometimes I've gone a few extra weeks without doing laundry, which makes for really fun and funky wardrobes. But honestly, if my integrity gets questioned by dishes in the sink, or my unswept floors, or not doing laundry, or my funky wardrobe, then I'm totally okay with that, because it means that I'm actually doing what lights me up, going after my dreams and my goals, my priorities, things that really matter to me. And you know what? Everything else falls into place. That's like the craziest thing about this, is that when you're doing those things that light you up, those things, you're chasing your dreams, you have energy to do that. Like, doing that takes a lot of dedication, hard work, and determination, but it also energizes you and lightens you up, or at least that has been my experience. And the dishes get washed, the floor gets swept, the laundry gets done, because it does. It's only tricky when we prioritize those secondary things and put off our needs, put off our wants, our dreams to the side, and make room for all those other things that are draining of our energy, and that creates a life that I kind of rather not have. Like, if you're not doing something that lights you up on the regular basis, or makes you happy every day, then what's the point? So the way that following my bliss has shown up in my life has been by making these videos, these and different kinds of videos. It all started with the Extraordinary Book Club. So for that, I've been making videos and blogging on a regular basis, and as a creative person, as an artist, as a maker, this has provided an outlet of sorts, and so that has brought me a lot of joy, especially because if these videos or anything that I'm sharing can lift someone up, support them, encourage them, then it really brings a lot of joy to me. And that's kind of like what I'm all about. I haven't realized that, but if you've known me for the last 10 years or 5 years, you know that when someone else succeeds in reaching a goal, or even begins to reach for their goal, or go for their dream, or do something scary and different and uncomfortable, I just am right there with you, totally encouraging and supporting, and just lit up, because other people's success definitely brings me a ton of joy. And so for those of you who know me, know that to be true. And I didn't realize that that's something that I've done in the past, or have done for quite many years, and it's become a part of my personality now. But it is definitely something that I bring to the table in my friendships and relationships. And which in itself just fuels the fire back, and just, yeah. So making these videos and blogging more, you probably will see more this year, because they definitely light me up. Another thing that lights me up is being outside, being mindfully outside. So really soaking in the elements through my skin, whether that's the cold, the wind, the rain, the sunlight, the water on my skin, feeling the earth underneath my feet, or with my hands, just earthing, taking the time to do that, really soaking in the ocean and the waves, and trying to replace or have that to be the majority of the content that my eyes take in, versus scrolling through social media or TV, which we don't, not TV, I mean like Netflix and chill, you know. There's nothing wrong with that either. It's just, for me right now, the outdoors is definitely calling for me, and I want more of that. So soaking it in through all my senses, just really basking in it. Another thing that lights me up is not having to wake up to an alarm clock. And I actually have a story of how that came to be. So mid-July 2016, the super sweet gig I had, since I've been here basically, came to an abrupt end. It was a pretty devastating blow, as I've been with that family-owned company for quite some time, even before living in California, before it became a remote thing. And it finally just kind of became a little bit more steadier, and I was able to look toward, like, plan different things in the future, like a few trips I've been wanting to take and things like that. So after having planned certain things, it comes to an end. Yeah, it was quite a blow. After the initial shock, confusion, anxiety, not that it all went away per se, but I definitely made a choice, because I realized that I've been here before, and it was in moments like this that I realized that life was kind of nudging me in a certain direction. Those moments, those directions that I've trusted before, even though they might have seemed risky, have led me here, and here's exactly where I want to be. I can't imagine being anywhere else. I had just completed my yoga teacher training program in May, and I felt like I wasn't ready to teach yoga yet or anything like that, but 2 weeks after this happened, I scored a corporate gig that came out of thin air, almost feels like, which is kind of sweet and cool, and it was just an affirmation of where I was heading, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm meant to do. So kind of took a deep breath in and settled into not knowing what's going to happen, or how it's going to look like, what the future was going to look like, or how it's going to all play out. Just kind of an interesting way to live, not knowing what's going to happen. Yeah, very interesting for sure. And so I took the next few months teaching those couple classes, as well as not having to set an alarm. So my whole morning changed, and I just fell in love with it. Taking my time getting up, stretching, maybe meditating, taking my time eating breakfast, juicing, like just all these different things, maybe taking a walk outside, like all those different things changed and shifted. And I promised myself that I won't take a gig that I have to wake up for super early in the morning for, because of this freedom. And even just being outside now and driving towards different locations to teach, versus being at home, which I loved working at home, don't get me wrong. There was definitely so many perks and benefits to that, but it was nice to be out and about, and I liked that new freedom in that sense. I liked what it brought. So Brian and I, my husband and I, we went to Chicago to shoot a wedding, and then we took a little road trip that was planned before all this happened, to the East Coast. We went to actually Maine and Canada, and back to Chicago, shot another wedding. And before heading back home in September, a buddy of mine, knowing my skill set and my experience, approached me to work for him remotely, and I was like, sure. And on my way home, I was like, you know what, like, I'm all about entrepreneurs, small businesses, and things like that. So like, if I need to wake up to an alarm clock, I will, and I could sure use it right now, be kind of steady before we go on this other trip that we planned. And just the time frame worked out really well. And The cool thing though is that I didn't need to. I didn't need to wake up to an alarm clock to do this gig, which was like even that much more awesome and even that much more affirmative to me of where I was heading. All that to say, follow that gut feeling. Reach for your goals. Follow your bliss. And as scary and as uncertain as it seems, as long as you're aligned with that feeling, trust it. Because you are stardust. And you are more, you know more, and you are more connected to how this life happens than you realize. But don't take my word for it. Try it out and see for yourself. And maybe report back. Ciao for now.